two things. One, Tandy didn't waste a single second getting Tyrone to take off his clothes. And two, how were they able to touch hands? Hey guys, it's Quana. I'm back again with another review. It's been a while. Did you miss me? You guys know what time it is. It is April, and so I am back, hopefully with some consistency, to bring you all reviews of one of my favorite shows and one of my favorite Marvel Cinematic shows, Cloak and Dagger. So let's dig in. All right, so the season premiere was yesterday. I do not have cable, so I had to wait for it to pop up on the CW's website so that I can watch it. They were so gracious to go ahead and put 2 episodes. So this video is going to break down episode 1 called Restless Energy, and then the next video will break down episode 2 called White Lines. All right, so I think going into this episode, first of all, guys, let me just take a breather. It has been a while. Life has been crazy. For some of you who watched a couple of my videos, or you know me personally, you know I'm a teacher, and it's just been crazy this year, and I have not been able to review anything with consistency. I know This Is Us, know How to Get Away with Murder, nothing that I thought going into the end of the summer that I'm like, okay, I'm going to review the This Is Us, I'm going to review How to Get Away with Murder, and none of that happened, so I apologize. Hopefully this will get me back on track and back trending into what I need to do. So I really wanted to do a breakdown of the trailer, and I didn't get to that. And I actually broke down the teaser trailer earlier in the summer. I'll link the video for that teaser somewhere if you want to just click on it and see what my initial thoughts were. And I think going into this episode, I was assuming that we're going to have some type of time jump just off of the title alone, Restless Energy. I did not think it was going to pick back up right where it left off, which I'm actually appreciative of. I kind of don't like when shows do that. I think that it works out well when you have adult shows. So pause. If for those of you who are millennials or whatever the generation is that I kind of fall under, I don't really know. But you might remember a little show called Living Single. And they were notorious for doing seasonal connections where they would have the season finale and then season premiere would pick up right exactly moments after the season finale. So most famously, spoiler alert, the whole Max and Kyle finally hook up episode, and it picked right back up on that. I hate when shows that are using younger actors do this, because then you don't have anywhere to go to explain how your actors might look different from one season to the next. These kids, these young teenagers, these young adults are growing, they're changing, their bodies are looking differently. And so I was like, please let this be at least, if not like a seasonal time jump where it's like, okay, this lists off at the end of the school year, and maybe this picks up at the beginning of the school year, or maybe this picks up a few months later, so that there's something to explain the nearly 1 year distance between the 2 seasons. So I was hoping we were going to get a time jump, and I think, or at least I thought going into this, that the Restless Energy was going to be a play on Ty, because we know at the end of the season, Ty is wanted for the murder of Officer Fuchs. His parents' house is basically being staked out. He can't go home. And so he takes over the cathedral, the church, and Tandy ends up moving back home with her mom. So let's recap real quick. So Cloak and Dagger, it's about 2 kids named Tyrone and Tandy, who both witness the death of a family member. Ty sees his brother get shot. Tandy is in the car when her father dies. They wind up in the Gulf, and there's a big explosion on an oil rig, and a power surge filtrates the water and hits them. And they wake up on this stranded beach, and we know that they kind of save each other. And then 8 years later, they grow up. They don't know each other. They've never seen each other. They run into each other. Tandy tries to pickpocket his wallet, and when they touch and connect, it reactivates their powers, Wonder Twins, you know, all that good stuff. And they suddenly have powers. Tyrone has the power to see a person's fears and also to teleport. And Tandy has the power to see a person's hopes and to create ice daggers. And so that's where you get the whole cloaking, because he's shrouded in darkness, and there's more to that if you follow the comics, but I want to get into that now because they haven't really touched on the dark verse that he goes into in order to teleport. But there's a whole cloaking thing with that, and then she's Dagger. So boom, they're Cloak and Dagger. All right, so this takes place, it's set in New Orleans, which is such a nice departure from everything being set in New York in the Marvel universe. And it allows for some really great music. It allows for some really great cultural tie-ins. It allows for some really great diversity that's there. And they continue it with this season. So all that stuff that I've said has happened. Tandy is back to dancing, which was so cute to see. Her face has gotten a little fuller, which I liked on her. I think it looks good on her. The little bit of extra weight. She's been eating some grits, some red beans and rice, and some good food down in Louisiana or something. And she looks good. And Tyrone has been apparently like renegade saving people, and now he's trying to take down like drug cartels in New Orleans. Oh, and then there's Officer Connors, who also ended up in the powerful chemical wasteland water, and now she is going to transform into the character that is Mayhem. So go to Wikipedia, look it up, and you'll know who Mayhem is. Anyhow, so he's trying to take down these drug rings, like using his powers to like steal all the money, steal all the drugs, give them to her, and she's like, look, dude, you slow your roll. I can't do anything with this. And it's like, dude, I know you're 16 or 17 or however old he's supposed to be this iteration. Which, can I pause and say, if y'all haven't said that he's 16 yet, please make him 17 at this point. Please. The boy is starting to look a little old, and we need to kind of start catching him up to his real age in real life. I'm just saying. And at no point does he think, hey, sorry, I'm going to turn off this light. Hey, yeah, that probably doesn't make a lot of sense for this officer to show up with this bag of drugs and this bag of money and not be able to say how she acquired it. He's not really as smart as he is for his private school education. He's not really thinking too smart. So anyway, that's going on. Tandy is going to therapy sessions with her mom and a little support group, and we meet this girl who she takes an interest in, who is staying with a friend and being abused by her boyfriend. And so we see that in her own way, Tandy is also trying to save people using her powers. And both of them are in this like weird space where they really don't know what to do because they've saved the city. Now what do? You're a superhero, but you're still a kid. How do you do that? So anyhow, we see some nice relationship building. The whole movie night thing was cute. They could have picked better than the old episodes of Zora, but I get it, because there was one of the things that Cloak and Dagger does really well is they do these tie-ins, these thematic tie-ins with like shows, or you had the episode last season where the teacher was teaching about the arc of the heroic arc in storytelling. And so this was a nice little tie-in where you talk about this character who is a superhero dressed in disguise and is able to save his town. And this is basically the metaphor for both Tyrone explicitly, because he's saying it, and Tandy, who, although she's not admitting it, wants to do the same thing. Her mom seems like she's in a good space. We see a quick little glance as Tyrone is flipping through the city and keeping eyes on his mom, his dad, his girlfriend Evita. I was really like shocked because Mama seemed well put together, and I would have been a mess. She had those heels on. She's still working her job. I would have been like, my baby is gone, falling apart. So I thought that was kind of like a weird choice to not show her like seemingly going through grief. And I thought a nice little nod would have been as she sat down to eat, if she had like started crying or something, just as like a nod of like, hello, like your child is gone, your only baby, and your other kid is dead. So yeah, you would have more emotions than that. Anywho, that's another story. So eventually Tyrone gets them all in trouble. He tries to fix the problems that he's created by going to this other competing gang and stealing from them so that he can kind of fix the problem, and he creates a gang war, basically, or the potential for a gang war. And so they try to go undercover to this club to like get actual confessions on tape so that Connor's can kind of clean things up, and that doesn't happen, and everybody dies in the story. And that's where we left off on episode 1. Now, theories going into episode 2. I think that the person who killed everyone is Mayhem. I think she was already there, and I think maybe she doesn't know that she's Mayhem. So we saw Connor's like popping these pain pills, and I think she blacks out and becomes Mayhem, and I think she killed everybody, and everybody's dead because their brains are like, there's blood everywhere, and it was like fast, like all of a sudden they looked and a body was being thrown and then everybody was dead. So that's not like a gun, that's somebody with powers. And if it's not Mayhem, it's someone else who would have been affected, and we'll find out who that is later. So there's probably there's the obvious choice of Mayhem, but I think that the story plays out better if she doesn't know that she's Mayhem, and then they're trying to find out who the killer is throughout the season, only to discover that it's her, and they somehow have to save her because she's still a good person who wants justice, wants to help people. At the same time, they still have to, oh boy, who killed Tyrone's brother with the scar on his face. His name's going to come to me in a little bit, probably after I stop this video. But the one who killed Fuchs, for real. So last season, Tyrone sucked him into like the Darkverse, and he doesn't know where he is, and he doesn't know if he's going to come back. And I think that it would be very interesting to find if it did not fully absorb him, but that he comes back before the end of the season. Things I'm looking forward to at the end of the episode, of course, we have that cliffhanger of like who killed, and they're in the bar, and it's like, oh, y'all better hurry up and get out of here before someone thinks it's you. The music was interesting, was good. I did not get a chance to look back at the credits to see, but one of the songs, at least one, if not more, sounded like Aubrey Joseph, and I know that they did that song last season during the big battle scene that I did not love. I'm so sorry, girl. I know you sang that. You tried to sing that song as best as you could, but I thought the song was just way too up-tempo and like rock ballady for that moment in the film. I would have just rather had it instrumental. But it is Marvel, especially Marvel TV shows, are known for using a lot of music and then of course, because it is a teen drama and you have these two actors who are also singers, they want to incorporate their music to help their platforms. So I get it, and I think it's great. And of course, they want to be in that sweet spot between, we're not quite Riverdale and campy as Riverdale, but we can't be Luke Cage, Defenders, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Daredevil. So speaking of which, I really am interested in hearing you guys' theories on how the cancellation of the Netflix Marvel Cinematic Universe, well, Marvel, it's not MCU, but the Netflix Marvel shows will impact Cloak and Dagger. Also, we haven't heard anything about how this would impact the Runaways, and if there will be a Runaways crossover this season. So comment down below on any of those topics. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys next time. Until next time, toodles!